right, thank you very much, Michael, and welcome to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. It's the first round presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. In Denver, Colorado, getting ready for a heavyweight matchup between the Clippers and the Nuggets as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Modelo Especial. The Clippers 18-3 over their final 21 games, led by Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Norman Powell, Chris Dunn, Ivica Zubac. The Nuggets, great continuity in that starting lineup with Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, and Christian Braun. Ryan Ruocco, Bob Myers, Angel Gray with you, about ready to go in a charged up Ball Arena. David Adelman, after just 3 games at the helm of the Nuggets as head coach in the regular season, coaches his first playoff game today. Meanwhile, Ty Lue coaches his 93rd. Here we go, game 1 is underway. The Clippers win the tip. Crowd will stand here till the first Nuggets bucket. As Harden goes to the corner to Dunn. Dunn bounces, shot clock fading. Zubac leaves it short, but follows it up with a little hook.
Zubac, Ryan, with a career year so far. Fantastic, and he guards. This is fascinating to see how the Clippers are going to guard this guy right here. They're going to let Zubac guard him one-on-one. He's actually the best in the NBA at doing it.
Yeah, he's held him to under 45% from the floor. Doing so, by far the best mark of anyone. Double comes this time. Porter alone connects.
They're going to run everything through that guy, Nikola Jokic, and they should. And when you double him with his size and skill, he's so good at finding open shooters.
And a good sign for Denver to have Porter hit that first one. Ty Lue told us Michael Porter Jr. is a key for them as Zubac stuffs it down. Said we really, in addition to transition defense, taking care of the basketball, we want to take a Michael Porter Jr. out of this series.
Yeah, and that's the risk when you double Jokic of leaving Porter and getting those guys going.
Or Jokic can do that.
Well, again, Jokic, career in points, in assists, in free throws, and also in three-point shooting percentage over 40%. You saw it right there.
Yeah, it's rare that you see a 3-time MVP somehow still on the ascent, but that's the case for Jokic in year 10 as Zubac gets another drop. How about the start to this game for Ivica Zubac, the first 6 points for the Clippers?
Well, Clippers are scoring pretty easily, but no surprise really there. Denver has the worst defensive efficiency of all the playoff teams, Ryan, so that's the area to watch. Can they somehow level up there?
Jokic guarded by Zubac. Jokic separates, can't dump it in. Tipped out, and Denver will control. Here's Murray, finds some space. Murray on the finish.
He's the guy that, in the history of the NBA, ups his scoring more than any player ever. That is not hyperbole. That is a fact.
Yes.
He goes up, 6-7 points in the playoffs.
Leonard hits the jumper. Yeah, it's so interesting because he's 1 and Jokic is 2 in the history of the NBA for point increase from regular season career average to playoff career average. Off the steal, here's Powell, and it's stripped from behind out of bounds. Knocked by Jokic, and it stays here with the Clippers. We mentioned David Adelman before. Fewest regular season games coached prior to first playoff game coached in NBA history after the stunning firings of Michael Malone and Calvin Booth at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, asked him before the game if he was a little bit nervous. He said, I'd be a sociopath if I wasn't, which is fascinating. But he seems composed. Not exactly how you draw it up, but he's been in this NBA a long time with his father as a coach, so he seemed pretty calm to me.
Harden can't finish there. Yeah, he said he has a good anxiety, trying to take the approach of, holy cow, this is awesome. I'm about to coach a big playoff game against the Clippers. Been an assistant with Denver since 2017. Here's Gordon fading and hitting.
A lot of ways for this Nuggets team to score. There's one right there. They're going to switch. They're going to post up Aaron Gordon again. Denver, the 4th best offense in the league. Where they struggle again is on defense, 21st in the NBA.
And a foul here will go against Denver. And the personal against Jamal Murray, his first, was very interesting. David Adelman's #1 key for this series was bringing physicality with a high IQ. Said we cannot allow the Clippers to get to the line, not just because of what it'll do for them offensively, but the way it will slow down our flow as Powell buries the 3.
And this Clippers team has built an identity, and Jeff Van Gundy's gotten a lot of credit for that, and they are the physical team. But Denver realizes they got to level up there if they want to stay competitive against this good Clippers offense.
Shot clock at 7. Murray, net by Harden. Shot clock at 3. Murray launches and hits.
Don't you love the shot making in the playoffs? I mean, this series is fast. If you're a basketball fan, this is 2 4-5s that could easily be in the Western Conference Finals.
100% as a kickball keeps it here. The top tier talent on both of these rosters is just extraordinary.
And you see right here, this is playoff basketball. You saw how hard that shot is? There's no space there, and he points it. I don't know what he's pointing at, because Harden can do that to him too if he wants.
Maybe he's saying, good D, James,
right.
Just
better offense.
Yeah, exactly. Powell separates in and out. Porter, the strong side rebound. Jokic and Zubac got tied up coming up the floor. Here's Murray. One more. Around it off. And Zubac the rebound. Murray averaged a career high 21.5 points per game this season. Really took off after a slow start. Here's Powell, fakes the 3, attacks, can't finish. Zubac there again. Ivica Zubac with 8 points already in the quarter.
Big key to this game is how they're going to stop dribble penetration, meaning the Nuggets. Can Christian Brown, can Jamal Murray, can they hold up on that point of attack from the Clippers perimeter players?
Porter too strong. Here's Harden off the rebound. Well, we've seen the start to this game for Zubac, who's a real contender for all defense.
This is the concern, right? Look, Clippers, it's a tight game so far, but the Clippers are getting very good looks at the basket here. Layups, points in the paint.
Here's Gordon, short. Dunn the rebound. Harden, oh, beautifully fed. Zubac, extra feed, and Dunn storms in for the finish. What a gorgeous pick and roll in the execution from the Clippers, forcing a Denver timeout.
Bet Sportsbook and the Clippers enter Denver as one of the most dominant and efficient teams to close out the regular season, and as their newfound rhythm propels them into the playoffs. Head coach Ty Lue, share with me a couple of the boxes that they've been able to check and finding their way. And of course, it starts off with getting their star back in Kawhi Leonard. He has only played in 2 playoff games over the last 2 seasons. They are completely different with him on the floor, and it shows on both ends, where they've been top 5 in a myriad of ways in the NBA standings since March 5th. But most importantly, guys, they found their defensive identity again. They were doing closeout drills just a few days ago, which should be an indicator of how locked in, how bought in they are to that side, but also how balanced they are as well.
Good stuff, Angel. Yeah, Ivica Zubac joked, that's a training camp deal, and Jeff Van Gundy had us doing it a couple days ago. That's how committed they are on that defensive end. And there's our guy. He's done a wonderful job with this Clippers team.
He might be the only guy to get away with that, him and Thibodeau, doing defensive closeouts this late in the season heading into the playoffs.
Jokic doesn't get the 3 to roll in. Ty Lue is so complimentary of Jeff with us before the game, talking about the impact he has made. And one thing Ty Lue said about that on the defensive end, Bob, and getting the identity back, as Dunn knocks into 3. That's found money for the Clippers, although he shot it well post All-Star break, 37%.
And over 40 uncontested. So the question here, Ryan, the Clippers offense is only 15th in the league on the season, but in the last 21 games, they were #1.
Yeah.
So if you look at this, you think, well, the Clippers aren't great on offense. Well, they certainly have been great over the last 20. And they're scoring pretty easily, already 14 paint points for the Clippers, and it's been pretty easy for them. Not a lot of resistance from the Nuggets. Here's another easy one.
Exactly. Dunn gets free and lays it in. And that was Ty Lue's point. So we started playing better offensively and lost our defensive identity a little bit. Then we got that back, now have it humming on both ends of the floor. That 18-3 stretch as Gordon gets fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, the question is, how is Denver going to put up a little more resistance? Russell Westbrook checking in. David Adelman mentioned his defense is the first thing he mentioned about Westbrook. Michael Porter Jr. is going to sit down, but thus far Denver has not done a lot to bother the Clippers. They talked about being physical. That hasn't shown up early on in this game.
That was number 2 on Harden, so a second foul on James Harden here in this first quarter. Time for tonight's national TV schedule brought to you by Progressive. Tomorrow on ABC, a first-round doubleheader, Grizzlies Thunder at 1 p.m. and then Magic Celtics 3:30 Eastern tomorrow night. TNT doubleheader starting at 7 Eastern. Heat Cavs followed by Warriors Rockets. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Now, for now, it seems like Ty Lue going to trust the veteran Harden, leave him on the floor with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, and like James is a smart player, and you know he's going to have to be cautious. Both of those were on reach-ins, I believe, and I thought one of them might have been on Zubac.
Better they go on Harden than Zubac, who's trying to deal with Jokic the entire afternoon.
Harden, just an incredible finish to the season. As Harden gets free, skates right to the cup. Last 5 games, Harden averaged over 29 points, 11 assists, 46% from 3. You had the game against the Warriors to get into the playoffs where he dropped 39, 10, and 7.
You know, this Clipper team, people have talked about it, but they're playing as well as any team in the playoffs. Yeah, as good as any team in the playoffs. And the numbers back it up. They're healthy, they're motivated, and Kawhi Leonard, who we haven't even mentioned much, physically looks better than he's looked in 5 years as Harden keeps doing what he's been doing.
Speaking of looking good physically,
he's again all-star this year, potential all-NBA player, and you can't let Harden just get to his left hand. This is, again, when the Nuggets won the championship, Ryan, they had a defensive identity. And it's so hard to win in the playoffs when you're 21st in the league in defense against what the Clippers have been great lately. And you look at this Nuggets team and you say, how are you going to stop James Harden? Who's going to guard James Harden? Well, Christian Brown, Jamal Murray, not ideal and slowing down a guy like Harden. And that's what they missed with KCP and even Bruce Brown being let go.
And so far, Harden cashing in 7 points, 2 assists. The Clippers are 12 of 17 from the floor, 71%. They've made their last 7 shots, and they have a 20-4 edge in the paint. Murray misses the mid-range. Keep in mind, this is a Denver team that set an NBA record for most points in the paint. Harden off on that one. Harden, another chance here for the Clippers. Guarded by Murray. Harden. Bodies into Murray, finds space, and again lays it in. Jokic had to be careful after picking up his first.
Yeah, again, you're watching that. We're 15 feet away, and you're saying James Harden and Jamal Murray with space. It's not a good matchup for the Denver Nuggets. So how are they going to find a way to support Murray? And Jokic he's one of the smartest defenders, but if he steps up, then Zubac is there, and Zubac has had a great first quarter already.
Here's Jokic bodying into Zubac. What touch from Nikola Jokic.
Can't guard him any better than that, but that's why Jokic has racked up so many MVPs.
Knocked away. Here's Brown alone at the rim.
Timeout, Ty Lue.
ESPN Bet is the official sportsbook of ESPN. Get in on trending parlays, daily profit boost, and exclusive talent markets all season long. New customers can bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets and 30 days of ESPN Plus. Scan the QR code to download the app.
Let's take a look at how Ivica Zubac is enjoying the limelight. Brought to you by Corona Extra.
Career year for this guy. Well-deserved. 59 double-doubles on the season. Highest average in assists, in scoring, doing it all different ways. Him and Harden are a lethal combination as well, Ryan. On the pick and roll, they've run it more than anybody else in the league. They've scored on it more than anybody else in the league. We asked him before the game. We said, "What is the deal?" He said, "I put the work in.
Yeah,
I did the work."
He talked about how he and James Harden have every day since Harden became a Clipper been spending 15 to 20 minutes going 2-on-2 pick and roll drills after every shoot around as Harden can't dump that one in. Rebound collected by Denver, but the results have clearly been there for Zubac. Watson left alone there on the perimeter. Here's Brown with Batum in after missing a couple of games with a groin injury. Little push shot is good for Peyton Watson.
Clippers look like they mixed it up there, came out in a zone. They tried to post Jokic, but nice job by Peyton Watson. Those are tougher shots than you think, and he had a nice little touch at 5 foot from the baseline.
Bogdanovic rims out on a 3. Here comes Murray. Denver making a little push here. Murray bounces, Jokic, lethal combination there. An 8-0 Denver run.
That is what got them to the championship. That right there, the pick and roll with Murray and Jokic, it's impossible to deal with. Sometimes Murray's setting the screen and Jokic is even handling.
Here's Zubac. Bodying into Jokic. Zubac throws it away. Murray bodying down. And a foul. That'll be number 1 on Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic is in there for his offense. When they recognize, meaning the Nuggets, he's the primary defender, they're going to go at him. And Murray made a conscious effort there to do it. Interesting, though, with Jokic and with Zubac, I was wondering, Zubac is going to check out now. I didn't know if they were going to match his minutes with Jokic because he guards him better than anybody. But now with him, Zubac is out of the game. How are they going to guard? They got Nicholas Batum on. They cannot guard him with Batum by himself. So this will be interesting to see what the Nuggets do with this.
There you go, 2-man game again. Murray off on that one. Derek Jones Jr. did a nice job keeping Jokic off the offensive glass. Yeah, to your point, Jokic just plays a higher volume of minutes than Zubac typically. Averages about 4 more minutes per game. As Harden wanted to whistle, didn't get it. Here comes Jokic. Ahead to Murray. Watson gets free and gets fouled.
And so important what you just mentioned, Ryan, is that in the playoffs, guys' minutes go up, right? So, and Jokic, people look at him, and this is not to be critical. He doesn't look like he's in great shape. He might be in one of the best shapes of any player in the league. He can play 40-plus minutes. And the reason that's important is, we talked about this pregame, his on-off numbers, you can tell it's 20, it's plus 20.
Yes.
When he's off, if they're minus 10, and essentially when he's on, they're plus 10. So it's a 20-point swing when he's not in the game for the Nuggets.
Earn badges to win prizes with the NBA ID Playoffs Challenge. Members in the U.S. and Canada who complete the challenge get the chance at a trip to the NBA Draft. Play now in the NBA app or on NBA.com/ID. Kawhi Leonard getting a breather. His minutes have been up a lot. Speaking of good signs, minutes, Leonard, over this recent stretch since the All-Star break, he's played 36 minutes a night, played in a back-to-back. And all of that just opens up the ceiling and the possibilities for the Clippers in these playoffs.
He has made them a credible threat. His health has made them a credible threat. Without him, they were a good team. They had an identity, but with him, they're a serious threat in the West here.
Harden can't finish. Clippers have gone cold. 10-0 Nuggets run. Westbrook with haste. Westbrook gets denied by Jones. Ben Simmons into the game off the Clippers bench with Jones, Harden, Batum, and Bogdanovic. Harden connects on a deep contested 3.
He's so comfortable, and guarding Christian Brown's a very good player. But Harden, it doesn't bother Harden. I mean, that's a tough shot with anybody on you. But he doesn't, he sees the basket clearly. He can knock that shot down. He's been doing that for a long time. 12
points in the quarter for Harden. Got a 4-second difference game in shot clock. Westbrook, catch, fire. No. Watson came running in, and it's going to be Clippers basketball, but Bogdanovic is lucky. He got caught flat-footed there. Peyton Watson almost made him pay. on the glass.
And this is the difference between the playoffs. 6.6 seconds. They're bringing in Aaron Gordon to finish the possession. I was curious to see if Ty Lue would check Kawhi Leonard in. And again, every possession, we talked to Christian Brown before the game, every possession in a playoff game is important.
Yeah, he was funny. He said, I feel like anyone can play well in a regular season game. Completely different in the playoffs. Denver had a foul to give. Brown gives it there with 4.3 remaining in this first. Harden, 12 points in the quarter. Both teams shooting at least 50% from the floor. Terrific action early in this highly anticipated first-round matchup. Here's Harden. 3 seconds left. Harden at the horn. You bet. Wow. And he mounts. Boom. 15 in the frame for James Harden.
You're watching this and you're scared of this guy. He bothers you. If I'm Peyton Watson, I'm selling out off Ben Simmons. He got there a little late, and Harden will always make you pay.
It's time for tonight's Access, brought to you by Scott's. I'm here with head coach Ty Lue, and Denver came on a 10-0 run right before those 2 bombs that we saw from James Harden. What have you liked about his pace out of that timeout?
Great pace, getting downhill. We know we want to attack Joker in the pick and rolls. If he's not going to step up, we just keep getting downhill. And then the 10-0 run, just had a couple turnovers that got out in transition, so we got to be better with that.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the defensive end. You mentioned how important it was for you guys on that end. What collectively can you assess on how you guys have done so far?
A good job overall. I think, like I said, getting back in transition, taking care of the basketball, and we'll be fine.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
To see the way they won the battle, the paint, a +12 in that first quarter against a team that set the NBA record for most points in the paint per game in league history since that's been tracked 29 years ago. Harden starts the second on the bench as Westbrook misses the finish. Here comes Simmons. Simmons finds Leonard for the bucket and the foul, and Kawhi Leonard a chance for 3.
Yeah, and this is a concerning, already down 8 with Jokic on the floor the whole first quarter. And these are always the vulnerable minutes, Ryan, for this Nuggets team. They get outscored by 9 points or so when Jokic is on the bench. And you're looking at Kawhi Leonard coming in. And a little bit surprised they don't have Jamal Murray in the game on offense to kind of dictate for the Nuggets, because this is a really vulnerable position and time of the game. Already down 11 here early at home in game 1.
They were down 12, had cut it to 2, but then a great response here from the Clippers at the end of that first, start of the second, a 9-0 extended run. Porter separates, pulled the string, trying to flag it down, and then throws it away. James Harden on the catch.
How is Denver going to generate offense here? I mean, Clippers, again, they're one of the top 5 defensive teams. They've been that all year long, and now Jokic is sitting, Murray is sitting. Where are they going to go to get production on that side of the floor?
Here's Leonard. Leonard, 5 to shoot, elevates, can't hit. Watson got up to guide that rebound. Here comes Pickett, off to Westbrook, who gets the foul and nearly the bucket. Leonard picks up the personal, his first, and free throws here for Russell Westbrook.
That's going to be what Denver is going to have to do with this unit. With any miss, any stop, they got to push. They got to run. Very good at it. Tops in the NBA transition baskets. But don't get caught in the half court against this Clippers half court defense.
So that Nugget Westbrook, one of 4 players in NBA history to average 27 and 7 for their playoff careers. Jokic, LeBron, Luka, the others. And David Adelman told us earlier today, we asked him, what do you need from Russell Westbrook in this series? And he said, I need him playing comfortably. I need that emotion in the middle, but really I need that part of it from everybody. What we need from him is to play a clean game and to really bring it on the defensive end.
And the defense, like you just said, I think that's the real key. On a team that doesn't have a lot of wing defenders, the Nuggets, Westbrook has to be that.
Jones floats it in. The Clippers are getting whatever they want on this end.
Not a lot of resistance. We talked to David Adelman before. He said we got to be physical. And it doesn't seem like that's been the case here early. A lot of basketball to go, but again, Clippers are getting real good looks each time down.
And shooting just under 59% as a result. Here's Simmons. Leonard connects on a three.
You can see right over the top of Westbrook. Not a lot of good options for David Adelman to put on Kawhi Leonard with this unit. You want that guy right there, Aaron Gordon, if he can get on him.
And foul call there is going to be on Leonard, and that will be his second. So 2 on Harden, who navigated the end of that first incredibly well with 2. I think it was smart for Ty Lue to keep him on the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
it's worked out. He got 15 points.
He earned the trust. Yeah, he had a heck of a first quarter. And now Murray back in. We'll see if they go back to some traditional pick and roll here. But the Clippers just look at what they got on the floor. They got a lot of elite defenders. Besides Bogdanovich, a lot of these guys, they got 4 guys that are above average on this side of the ball right now.
A lot of length, too, with Simmons, Leonard, Batum, and Jones in the corner. That 3 is off for Watson, and the weak side rebound secured by the Clippers. Here's Leonard staying on the floor with his 2. Leonard muscling his way inside for the finish.
He looks so good. I mean, even in person, you're watching on TV, but he is moving, I think, the best I've seen him since 2019. I mean, he just looks explosive. And when he's feeling like this, he is one of the best players in the NBA.
Foul on Bogdanovich. Well, you said that, Bob, coming off the game you did the other day, that thrilling Clippers-Warriors overtime game at the end of the regular season that determined whether or not you're going to the playoffs or the play-in, that was a huge takeaway for you. It was just the way Leonard was moving.
I just hadn't seen him in person, Ryan. You watch on TV and get some idea of it, but really you get to, you're this close to the action, you see how a guy moves, you get to watch him when he doesn't have the ball and things like that, and you get to watch his quickness, his explosiveness, and again, it's fun to see. It reminds you why he's an MVP of the finals, and again, talk to any of the Clippers players, him coming back just has elevated them, because not only is he good offensively, he's always been one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Right, and one of the things Ty Lue talked to us about was because Chris Dunn is such an incredible on-ball defender, point of attack for their defense, it's allowed Leonard to roam defensively, Angel, and it's been a part of what's made this Clippers team so good.
Yeah, absolutely. But going back to even Kawhi Leonard and just what it's like to see him out on the floor. He played 37 games. He's missed 45. So Ty Lue was talking about the reassurance his teammates get when seeing him on the floor. We already showed the numbers of how they are elevated on the offensive and defensive side, but it goes to like the passion that Kawhi has as well. He said, I love the game. I have the passion for it still. And he loves to compete out there. So that's pretty much what's been the driving force for him. He is so hungry for another title, and he's hungry to do it with this group.
Well, they have the pieces. They're a dangerous team right now as Gordon gets called for the offensive foul with Simmons spilling to the deck, and that'll be the first on Aaron Gordon.
You look at this, the luxury of when Harden sits down, you got Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Now, when Jokic sits down, number 27, Jamal Murray on the Nuggets, he's got to be as good as Kawhi does. He has to carry the load here. He's done it before, but he's going to have to do it for any chance of this Nuggets team.
Great dig there from Westbrook, and then Simmons gets him on the other end. And Russell Westbrook is fired up in the aftermath of it.
Thinks he got bumped on the drive, and again, that's where Westbrook can be dangerous in that transition off turnovers. The defense there getting back by the Clippers.
And just to the naked eye, that looked like a clean strip from Simmons on that drive from Westbrook after a nice steal from Russell. Porter in the corner, off. Simmons able to secure the rebound, and again, he's looking to fly quickly up the floor. Powell dips in, curls back, extra feed, Batum, short. Simmons keeps it alive. Here's Powell's 3, off. Batum, another offensive rebound for the Clippers. And Watson able to snare it and finish.
Well, they're going to have to make those plays. And Ty Lue gets a timeout, tries to quiet the crowd. But for Denver to stay in this game, Ryan, those are the 50-50 balls you got to get and convert just like Peyton Watson did.
NBA First Round, presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook, is brought to you by Google, proud sponsor of the NBA, and Arby's. We have the meats.
Let's get it, bro. Get that second win now. We good. Get that second win now. Every possession, we know what we're doing on both ends. Every possession. Every possession. Watch the pin down. Watch the pin down.
Well, James Harden with 15 in that first quarter, wearing a mic for us today. Here's the offseason changes from the Clippers. Paul George, Russell Westbrook out. Derek Jones Jr., Nick Batum, Chris Dunn, Jeff Van Gundy in. Then in season, they trade for Bogdan Bogdanovic. They signed Ben Simmons after his release from Brooklyn. And they really have put together a very strong team that looks good so far here today.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought, Ryan, when Paul George didn't come back, that's, again, way too easy right there. Kawhi Leonard just blowing by Denver's perimeter defense. But they outpaced Vegas by any other team as far as win totals.
Yeah.
When Paul George left, a lot of people counted this Clippers team out. So credit Lawrence Frank, Steve Ballmer having the conviction to do that, make that decision, and then they balanced it out. And Powell has had a great year. Zubac has had a great year. They added Derek Jones. Dunn has been fantastic. Harden all-star this year. And they even though thought Kawhi would come back sooner than he did, and they still held the fort down, and when he came back, they've just been off and running.
He has 10 in the quarter here. You see Jokic and Harden both back into the game. Watson hesitated on the three, and Ben turns it over. David Adelman really emphasized that they just cannot have their role guys on the wing hesitating on those wide open catch and shoot opportunities. He said it's selfless to take those shots because of the way it helps out Jokic.
And these are such important. Every minute Jokic is on the floor. Wow, what a move. You have to outpace the Clippers. You cannot have it being outscored like they are while Jokic is on the floor. You got to run everything through him. As much as he can touch the ball, the better.
Jokic finds Brown on the block. Back to Jokic, cutting, couldn't finish, wanted a whistle. Looked like he had a case. Zubac getting away with it. Now a deep catch on the other end, and he will get a whistle as Watson slaps down on him. And Jokic is still very upset about no call on the other end.
Yeah, and by him not getting the foul call, struggled to get back, and they allowed Zubac to get the deep post. But he thought he was
maybe pushed in the
pretty
back a little bit
along the way. And again, this Clippers offense, almost 50, chance to get to 49 right here, Ryan, and we still got 6 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Our NBA playoff game one quadruple header continues, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, with 3-6 matchup, Pistons-Knicks here on ESPN, and then over on ABC, another 3-6 as we cap the night with the Lakers hosting the T-Wolves on ABC. How about the job our former colleague J.J. Redick has done with the Lakers?
Tremendous. I mean, to get them where they are, it's not easy. Not an easy city to coach in. Huge expectations, rookie coach, and has just captained that ship the whole year. Tremendous job by J.J.
Both free throws missed there for Zubac. Here's Murray giving it up. Jokic takes the three, gives it back. Murray mid-range, no. Rebound out of bounds, and it'll be Clippers basketball as Gordon will check back in for the Nuggets, and Watson will head out. Now, in that stretch with Jokic on the bench, Denver got outscored 13-7. But, you know, you do the math. I mean, it's just remarkable the difference in Denver when he's on the floor or off. I mean, their offense goes from best in the league to worst in the league with him on and off. They go from bludgeoning teams to getting crushed as Zubac gets free. But even with him on the floor thus far in this first half, the Clippers have gotten the better of Denver.
Well, you always worry. I mean, we talked about it. I don't want to keep saying it, but Denver's problem this season has been their defense. And again, you can see it right now. Clippers shoot 57% from the field, and the Clippers are already established their defense. So Denver's going to have to find a way to somehow make things more difficult for this Clippers team, because Clippers are just getting whatever they want right now.
Jokic Off to Porter, back to Jokic. Jokic takes, short. Zubac secures the rebound. Up ahead, Leonard roaming free, lays it in. Timeout Denver. Kawhi with 12 in the quarter, and the Clippers lead is 15.
The Clippers defense leading to offense. Denver out of sorts. Jokic takes a three. Nobody can deal with this guy. Lays it in.
So many easy baskets here in this first half for the Clippers.
Yeah, again, 34 paint points for the Clippers. Denver Nuggets have 36 points total. And that's too easy. This is the playoffs. And again, it's not their strength, not Denver's strength. They got to be more physical. They are outlengthed in many of these matchups. They're going to get some strong players, and Harden and Kawhi, some of the best ever to play ISO basketball. Clippers like going ISO, but you got to put up some resistance. And I think that's what probably David Adelman is saying. In the timeout, their offense hasn't been there. Clippers are a good defensive team. You are not going to win a playoff series, Ryan, by just outscoring your opponent. You have to stop them, and Denver thus far has not shown the ability to do that.
Guys, and also for Coach Adelman, what he was adding was there's no physicality and we're reacting to everything, making sure that everyone is on the same page, but leading with the physicality that he was challenging them to have before we went into this game. And then also he said on the offensive glass, we have to do better. To your point, they are getting everything they want in the paint.
Yeah, Denver just 2 offensive rebounds. Thank you, Angels. Jokic fights through the contact that time to finish. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. For the Joker, guarding Zubac here aggressively. Yeah, exactly. You can see it so clearly as Leonard can't stick that mid-range. Rebound settles with Murray. Murray fakes the 3, veers inside and throws it off of Dunn. It'll stay with Denver. Nikola Jokic is still having conversations about the officiating, going right to Mark Lindsay, wondering why he didn't get a call on that last attempt. He has not shot a free throw yet in this half.
Well, nobody will admit it, but they do swallow the whistle a little bit more in the playoffs. You know, it is a fact. I mean, that's what they play for, and that was great defense. And Jokic is frustrated. He's frustrated right now. Zubac again. The numbers show it. The best player to guard Jokic the last 10 years is Zubac, and he's a tough matchup. He knows his game, and he knows what to expect.
And with that hook being called on Jokic, that's his second. Now Zubac gets one on the other end as the Balkan Bigs are tussling.
It's old school 1980s NBA basketball.
Zubac was talking about playing against Jokic one time as a kid growing up when he was 14, 15 years old. They've had great matchups here this season and in the pros, and big contact last 2 possessions. Lob it in, Gordon! The touch off the dish from Jokic.
To Denver get back in this game, Jokic, I would mandate him touching the ball on every possession. They have to be elite offensively because they are not going to stop this Clippers offense. It's just too good, and it's not Denver's strength.
Here's Zubac, nice find, Dunn juggled it. Zubac misses the hook. Opportunity for Denver to cut a little closer. Jokic a 3, no, he'll fake it. Drive it. Forced a pass inside, and Dunn able to save it just momentarily. It's going to be Denver basketball.
Interestingly that Jokic is passing up those threes because Zubac is letting him have those, and Zubac is moving his feet, doing a good job. Jokic is not gaining the advantage when he's passing up those threes. And he's smart. He's smarter than me for sure. So he's going to recognize that. And he's over 40, 41%. He's going to start shooting some of those.
Yeah, shot it at a career high this season at volume as well. Here's Murray. Looking to twist away from Zubac. Instead, Jokic with the size on Dunn. Dunn did a nice job there. Zubac did first on Murray, and then Dunn hanging with Jokic. 2 all-defensive team-worthy players for the Clippers. Uh-oh, Harden could not cash in on the Porter spillage. That's off of Denver.
foul on Harden, looks like.
Oh, and that'll be number 3.
And now you wonder, does he keep him in? This will be interesting because you don't want him picking up his 4th, although Harden, I don't know.
Has he fouled out of any games this year? I'm not even sure he has, so I'm not as concerned if it was someone else.
That's a great question, Bob, because he's not a guy you would typically look at and say, oh yeah, foul trouble is an issue. But he picks up the 3rd there. Denver in the bonus, so free throws for Gordon. Hey, coming up on halftime, presented by Hyundai. The Pacers punish the Bucks in game 1. Malika, Stephen A., Adonis Haslam, and Perk in the studio. You miss your crew?
Yeah.
We're out on the road.
I gotta
these
hang out
days.
with you.
Yeah.
It's not a good trade.
It's
like
not.
I should get some first-round picks or some compensation.
This is, you would have nixed this.
Yeah, this would have not
in
gone
the basketball
through.
ops
I
room.
would have said Ruocco for the. What?
No, I have to hang with him instead of Perk and Malika.
I want 3 future firsts.
Yes. Meanwhile, 2 missed free throws there from Gordon, who this year shot it incredibly well, 81%. By the way, Harden has not fouled out this season. Brown off the steal to the rim.
That's how Denver's gonna. Denver, it feels like they're down a lot more than 9. So credit them. That timeout that we talked about, they did up their physicality on defense. And that effort has revealed that they can stop the Clippers or at least make it more difficult than it was.
And it's so clear they need to turn them over, get out running, get in the flow. Denver was #1 in fast break points this season. Harden misses. Zubac's attacking, can't finish. Westbrook to Brown, and the strip from Dunn. Gordon gets the volley and the tip.
This comeback has been fueled by effort, and effort can get you a long way, especially home, get the crowd into it. Denver's fighting now. They were just letting the Clippers get whatever they wanted early in this game.
8-0 run. Leonard off to Powell. Jokic the dig, and a foul on Jokic, and that'll be his 3rd.
That is a little more troublesome, and Jokic is going to have to change the way he plays. They're not going to challenge it. Must have been a foul. Jokic doesn't. He's right on the arm. Jokic, he almost did the signal to review it, and then he realized we're not going to win that one. Just leave it. But he's got to be careful too, and they cannot afford to check him out of the game. I mean, really, he has to play 40-plus minutes for Denver to win this game.
And especially right now, right, Bob, with this momentum Denver's build, you can't.
No.
You just got to ride the risk here.
And look, it will affect the way he plays. He's smart, though. Guy like that, you factor in, I got to leave him in. 1, we're down 7, and 2, he's smart enough not to pick up that 4.
So he stays in with 3. Harden goes out with 3. So does Leonard with his 2. And knocked away. Powell battling. Brown able to claw it. Here comes Denver. Jokic guarded by Jones. Has the size, draws the double. Murray fakes the 3. Back to Jokic. Murray had a good look there. He passed up. Westbrook connects.
40%, I would call that uncontested. He's been able to knock that down. Just 33 on the season, but uncontested. He's been a very good 3-point shooter.
Denver making a push. An 11-0 advantage in points off turnovers. And a defensive 3 seconds called. David Adelman is irate with the violation.
Sure, he got Murray there. Murray, he certainly didn't like it. But again, just the commitment, the effort that the Nuggets have shown has just made all the difference here in this last 6 minutes.
As he misses a free throw. You're so right about that. I mean, it was so clear the very first possession after that timeout, the way Denver turned up their physicality and intensity.
And you know, that's coaching too, right? I mean, that you're down. I mean, I'm sure the messaging in that huddle was, we talked about physicality. We talked about it. You guys, are you going to decide to do it, or are we just going to keep getting run over here in the half court?
Powell splits the D and slams it home.
He's a guy that can really get going. Norman Powell talked to Ty Lue before. He can do it from
three, from mid-range, and from get to the paint.
Murray goes in quickly, going for the 2 for 1. Could not finish, and now a 5-second difference, game and shot clock. Ty Lue telling his team 1 shot. And Bogdanovic dribbles it out of bounds. But the Clippers have gotten very sloppy at the end of this second quarter.
No Harden in the game, no Kawhi. That's why you see a turnover like that. Normally they would be handling.
Foul trouble for Harden. Kawhi not in.
And that's why you got Bogdanovic. And this is a big possession, right? You had a possession, chance to go up 8, maybe 9 there for the Clippers. Take the last shot, but now it's the Nuggets' opportunity. And Zubac stays in on Jokic. He's got to touch the ball, Ryan. He's got to touch the ball every time. He's going to get you a good possession. He's the closest thing to a point center this league has ever seen.
Right, first center to ever average a triple-double. Meanwhile, the Clippers, who had just 2 turnovers in the first quarter, have 7 here in the second, including 4 in the last 5 minutes. Here's Murray, 8 seconds left. Drags out Batum, 5 seconds, and Jokic gets hit by Dunn. He'll go to the line as Dunn picks up his first. Denver in the bonus. So free throws for Nikola Jokic.
See, now 5.5 seconds. Does Ty Lue put Harden back in?
Yes.
Yes. And again, you want to know the difference between a playoff game. This may not happen in the regular season, but in the playoffs, this opportunity for Harden to come in and take the last shot, we saw at the end of the first quarter. He dropped in that left wing 3. He's going to be the one that takes the last shot here. But that's him. He's putting it back in with 3 fouls too, so he trusts him. But like we said, Harden's never fouled out of a game all season.
Here the MVP chance for Jokic. It should be an incredibly tight battle along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who you'll see tomorrow on ABC in the Thunder Grizzlies game 1. Jokic, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a block and a steal, does have 3 fouls. Harden back in as Jokic hits both. Denver has whittled it down to 4. Trailed by as many as 15. Powell, 2 seconds left. Powell attacks, loses it. That'll do it for the first half. Denver closes it on a 13-2 run. Leonard with 14.5. The Joker with 13. Set up for an exciting second half at Ball Arena. Stay tuned for halftime, presented by Hyundai, Malika, Stephen A. Perk, Udonis Haslam coming up after these messages. Fun one here in Colorado.
Oh my God. Don't see that every day. Or ever.
Duncan!
Run.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. We're here in Denver for the first round, presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Getting ready to start the third quarter. Clippers a 53-49 lead over Denver. Taking a look at our first half stats, brought to you by PayPal. Denver ending that half on a 13-2 run over the final 5 minutes, which they forced 5 turnovers. As we welcome you courtside. Hey everybody, Ryan Ruocco alongside the 4-time NBA Finals champion Bob Myers. That first half felt like the Clippers had control of it, and then Denver goes on that run in the final 5 minutes to really cut into the deficit.
And we talked about it. We asked David Adelman at the start of the game, what's the key? He said we need to be physical, we need to be disciplined, and we need to not foul them. They didn't have that physicality to start this game. They had a big timeout halfway through the second, and those are the numbers you just saw. They started turning the Clippers over. The Clippers with 10 turnovers, had 5 during that stretch. That's what got Denver back in this game. Question is, can Denver sustain it? Because they have not been a great defensive team all year. They showed they're capable there. They're going to have to commit to that to slow this Clippers offense down.
Clippers scored just once in that final 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Here we go in the third. Game 1 of this best-of-7 series, and Zubac picks up the foul, his second. And free throws here for Jamal Murray. Now, foul trouble is going to be something that we're definitely going to be honed in on beginning this third quarter, both Jokic and Harden each have 3 fouls. Obviously critical players for their respective teams.
Certainly are, and Denver did a much better job getting to the line. This is their 13th and 14th free throw. Clippers have only shot 5. Now some of that is because Denver was giving up a layup line to start the game. But again, this is how Denver can shoot 42%, and the Clippers could shoot 51. And Denver's right in this game. Make this free throw, you're down 1 basket.
Murray, there you go. 2-point game. After being down 15. Here's Leonard, who had 12 in the second. Leonard gives it up. Powell, back to Dunn, a lot of space. Knocks down the 3. And this has been more the story for Chris Dunn over the second half of the season.
What a find by Lawrence Frank and the Clippers front office. I mean, Chris Dunn, he's always been an elite defender, but the difference between hitting that open 3, he's much more playable now. You have to get up on him a little bit.
Murray's mid-range is off. Rebound Dunn, who has 10 points. He has not missed from the floor, now 2 of 2 from 3. To Bob's point, shooting at 37% from 3 since the All-Star break. Here's Leonard. Leonard gives it up, gets it back, matchup on Brown. He likes it, wants it. Back to Powell. Off on a 3, and Brown flags down the rebound.
Much better by Denver, just much better. Not letting Kawhi back him down. Brown's fighting down there.
Gordon, a deep catch and a finish as we check in with Angel Gray.
Guys, I was talking to assistant coach Ryan Saunders for Denver, and he said that's what we saw at the end of the first half. The 13-2 run was a team that was accepting the challenge of the physicality. He said we weren't winning the 50-50 balls. He said each quarter had a story. That second one was about winning the fight and winning each possession, and that's the challenge for them going into this one. And obviously on the offensive side as well, he said we have to make more than 4 threes, seeing if they can attempt that here in the quarter.
Thank you very much, Angel. Denver is not a high-volume three-point shooting team, though. They were 30th, that's last in the league in attempts. 28th in makes. Jokic dips in and cups it home.
Such great footwork, just great skill. And again, he makes Zubac look like he doesn't know how to defend it, but it's the brilliance of Jokic, just the brilliance of his shot making.
Done, another one. That one's off. Jokic the rebound. Porter on the move. Gordon accelerates inside, couldn't finish it. Here comes Dunn. Harden with space, will fire, and hit from 3. James Harden, who had 15 in the first, gets his first point since.
Good recognition, getting it to Harden. He's always been one of the best shot makers of the collision.
And that's going to be number 4 on James Harden.
Wow.
So Gordon and Harden get tangled up, and now Harden picks up his 4th.
Yeah. And we'll see what happened here. Looks like they got tangled up. Gordon was trying to get the early post position and impeded his progress, I guess. I mean, they're not gonna review it, so clearly that is 4.
The bench is now.
They wanted to, huh?
Maybe they were communicating.
Not
but
fast
they didn't
enough.
get it in time. Yeah. Jokic fading away off. Good D there from Zubac, who, as we talked about earlier, has held Nikola Jokic to a lower field goal percentage than any other player in the NBA, guarding him over the season. Here's Harden. Can't finish, but Zubac does with a little tap.
I love the fact the Clippers can go to that pick and roll with Harden and Zubac, and then when they don't have that, Ty Lue said they can go to Kawhi and ISO. They got a lot of different ways they can beat you.
Jokic connects. Toe on the line, a long 2 for Nikola Jokic.
They've been giving him that space, and probably smart to do so. But if he starts taking advantage of that, then Zubac has to come out, and that changes how the Clippers will defend the Nuggets.
Harden remains on the floor with his 4 fouls. We have seen that throughout this game. Ty Lue trusting his veteran point guard. Here's Harden. Harden gets fouled that time by Porter. And free throws for James Harden.
Harden's so smart. He wanted that switch. Porter on Harden, 30 feet from the basket, advantage. Clippers. Harden's trying to say he was going. Did they say that was a pass? Are they saying that was on the floor? Oh, no, definitely 2 shots. I think Harden was saying he got hit in the face.
You don't want anyone messing with the beard.
No, the beard is important.
It's very,
like
very
manicured and just want it
to keep it at that exact length.
It's a great beard.
Yeah, requires a level of detail and attention. The NBA playoff first round continues tomorrow afternoon with an ABC doubleheader. The Western Conference top seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder, host the Grizzlies in game 1 of their series at 1 Eastern. Then it's the Eastern Conference 2-7 matchup. The Celtics and the Magic are coverage tips at 12:30 Eastern with NBA countdown. Harden gets them both. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for James Harden, who finished the regular season on a tear. Last 5 games of it averaged 29.5 points, 11 assists. Here's Jokic on Dunn. Oh my goodness, the footwork.
I mean, he just, the footwork, like you said, I mean, reverse pivot from the free throw line to get that close to the basket. I mean, and the double was coming with Kawhi. And Jokic able to get there.
19 for Nikola Jokic. 5 rebounds, 4 assists as well. Harden out to Dunn. Another wide open look. Instead, he's going to go to the rim. Missed the layup. Right idea by Dunn, just didn't finish it. Here's Murray. Murray got unnecessarily tricky, and Powell takes advantage.
And again, the Denver Nuggets do not have a huge margin for error. And plays like that, you just can't give away easy buckets in playoff games.
Murray 2 for 9 in this game, has 8 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Again goes behind the back, this time effective.
Yeah, well, it's still risky. 1 for 2, I guess, but you know, it worked there.
A little bold after what happened with the last one.
Confident.
21 for Jokic. Game 1 of this best-of-7 first-round series. Dunn curls it out. Here's Harden, 5 to shoot. Harden zips into the paint, extra feed. Zubac can't finish it. Good contest from Jokic.
I love watching these 2 big guys. These 2 big bodies right here. What a great matchup. It's just old school basketball.
Here's the 2-man action. Murray, Jokic. Jokic can't flip it in. Porter kept it alive. Leonard saves it out of bounds, and it will be Denver basketball. Timeout on the floor. Midway through the third, it's the Clippers leading by 6. Making his playoff debut next on ESPN. Pistons-Knicks. Should be a fun first-round matchup. Makes that debut at the Garden as we check out this week's playoff tracker, brought to you by Capital One. Bob, what do you think about that Lakers-Timberwolves series that tips tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ABC?
The gap between a lot of these teams, including that one you asked me about, is not big, right? I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to see the Warriors beat the Rockets, or the Rockets beat the Warriors, or Minnesota beat Lakers. And even in this series, I do think Oklahoma City will beat Memphis. But that's about all I know.
Yeah.
So I predict some good game 7, some longer series. Usually the first round, Ryan, you know, you get some 4-1s, you get some sweeps. This Western Conference all year has been a battle, and the gap between the 2 and the 7 is so small.
Well, you talked about it earlier. These 2 teams in this 4-5 matchup, obviously one of them is going to be eliminated in the first round, but you could see either of them making a deep run in these playoffs as Murray finishes, plus the foul.
And a big reason why the Denver Nuggets might do it is that guy. He's the swing guy. Jamal Murray right there. Quiet game so far, 3 of 10 points. When they were at their best, this guy was scoring 25, 30, shooting a high percentage, just 3 of 10. So he can't elevate his game. He's the best in the history of the league at elevating his game. In the playoffs, they're going to need him to do that, not just this afternoon, but the rest of the way as far as they can go.
Ups his career scoring average by more than 6 points per game in the playoffs, which is, as Bob said, #1 in NBA history. Leonard short, Jokic the rebound, Denver running. As Westbrook trying to force it into Gordon, and Leonard was there to knock it away.
Murray's in front of us. He's grabbing that foot. Remember on that Leonard drive?
Yes.
It'd be interesting to see if that affects him. It doesn't seem to be too bothered, but when Westbrook checks in the game, this is when you see Denver's transition offense. This is when you see them really push, but David Adelman wants them to be disciplined and thoughtful when they do it.
Murray, mid-range, no. Zubats the rebound. That's 10 boards for Ivica Zubats. At 59 double-doubles this season, most by a Clipper since Blake Griffin. Zubats, nice touch. He's up to 16.
And Murray is giving. He's a little. You watch him. He's struggling a little bit. They cannot afford that. They cannot afford him to not be at his best.
Missed a lot of time with a hamstring injury just before the end of the regular season. Came back, played the final 2 games. Gordon soars in and explodes to the cup.
That's the beauty of Jokic. If you're open, he will find you. If you cut to the basket, when you play with a guy like that, you're never saying, you missed me. He doesn't miss guys. So if you cut and you're open, he will find you.
21 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists for Nikola Jokic. Zubats kicks it out. Dunn given space. Harden 4 to shoot. Harden dishes back. Shot clock about to fade. Batum can't hit. Denver down 3. Murray with Jokic behind the back. And Jokic couldn't complete the highlight.
That behind the back was a good one.
Yeah,
that was the right one. And it's shocking that Jokic didn't make that one.
So Jamal 2 for 3 now for keeping score at home on behind the back passes in the 3rd. Harden wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Zubats, another offensive rebound. 9th board for the Clippers. Denver has just 4. Harden can't bank it in. Tipped out, Denver on the run. Murray lost it off his leg.
They're going to review that.
Yeah.
They're going to review that.
And I'm not sure they're going to need to because James Williams, I think, had a good view of it.
Yeah, Murray's already walking back.
Yeah, exactly. Williams went right to Kevin Scott and said, nope, it lasted Murray.
Yeah, and you might say, yeah, the clean play too by Powell. I mean,
yeah.
Murray thought he got some contact, but you know, again, every possession, we talked about it. It's so meaningful in these playoff games, especially when these teams are this close in ability. You want to convert on those. You want to get good shots, and I just keep saying that Jokic, as much as this guy can kind of dictate terms on the offensive side.
Zubats tried to slam it down, got fouled. Westbrook and Jokic were in the area. They call the foul on Westbrook, yes, his first. Significant because if it was on Jokic, it would have been his 4th. One thing, Bob, I've liked in this game, though, we've seen both coaches not worry about leaving their star players on the floor when they're in foul trouble, which is, anybody who's analytically inclined will tell you, hey, the numbers say don't just pull that guy automatically on foul 2 in the first half or foul 3 early in the 3rd or whatever it might be. And they've let Harden in the case of the Clippers and Jokic in the case of the Nuggets navigate with that foul trouble.
Yeah, and again, the Clippers, if you're looking at trends, you're saying how is this series? The opening game is always a feel each other out game. The Clippers bench, Ryan, 2 points. 2 points for their whole bench.
And that's a place where they, going in, you thought they had a significant advantage.
And 13. And obviously the bench plays better at home. 13 for the Nuggets.
Murray swivels in. Two-point game, 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Murray with 7 in the quarter, now is 13, 6 and 6 for the game. Powell. Teardrop is good. Nice push shot there from Norm Powell.
He's another guy that you always talk about. Leonard, who's sitting right now. You talk about Harden. Powell's the guy, he can score for himself too.
This year, averaged a career high 21.8 points per game. Really took on the scoring load with Leonard out. Jokic twisting, and Batum uses the length to knock it out of bounds. 4.8 to shoot. Timeout on the floor. 4-point game. Aaron Gordon dealt with a calf much of the year. The explosiveness is back.
Well, and that's important, right? And here's the cut. Jokic is not going to miss you, and this guy's not going to miss that dunk for Aaron Gordon.
Sitting cuts toward my dirties. Let the hunter rubby walk for the win, for the win.
Don't get frustrated, all right? One thing, we've got to have more urgency to get back. Too many easy baskets. Get into their body, more aggressive. If they attack the basket, no one's going to rotate for you unless you rotate first.
Well, David Adelman coaching his first game in the playoffs after 3 in the regular season with Peyton Manning sitting right behind him. The Hall of Famer. Yeah, exactly. And another quarterback, the current Broncos quarterback, Bo Nix, in the building. You got to visit with Peyton a little before the game, right?
Yeah, he's obviously, that guy's going to be good at anything he does.
Yeah.
He's dominating media. He was a pretty good quarterback
not
as
bad
well.
At that either. Here's Jokic, wow. Tough angle, Brown keeps it alive. Westbrook bounces in, and Jokic probably didn't need the spin and then didn't finish it.
Again, the little things. He's 9 of 18 from the field. As Batum makes them pay. I mean, it's always the missed layup and the 3 on the other end. It's always that 5-point swing.
Yep, there you go. So could have been down 2. Instead, Nuggets down 7. Big 3 there from Batum. Missed the last couple of games of the regular season with a groin injury. Ty Lue was thrilled to get him back here for game 1. Here's Jokic, double comes, Jokic knew it. Nice job by Simmons to deflect it. And 2.9 on the shot clock.
What you'd like to see without Zubac and Jokic catching a little deeper. He's got Batum on him, get position. When he catches the free throw line, it's easier for the Clippers to come bring that double. But he wants to get that deep catch.
Lob it into Jokic, shot clock fading, and that's easy work for Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I mean, every time, no Zubac, they're not even playing a center. Batum is not a center. He's a good player, but he's not a center.
Right.
So without Zubac and you're the Nuggets, this last minute 30, deep catch for Jokic every time.
And a foul here on Brown. Harden trying to say it's on the shot, but it will not be. It was prior to the upward shooting motion, and Denver did have a foul to give.
I would tell Harden, you got that call plenty of times before, until they had to kind of change it. But it's
he's going side to side there, which is why it's side out of bounds.
That's right.
But yeah, rules were changed because of his expertise there.
Agreed. He was smart.
Here's Harden, 3 to shoot. That time got hit. No call. He was mystified. Here comes Pickett.
Let's watch Jokic here. There it is.
Yeah, that's the deep catch.
And again, there's just no answer, right? And it's not Batum's fault. Nothing he can do. But it's smart. And Ty Lue's talking to his staff, kind of like, what do we do something there? Here comes Van Gundy, who's part of the reason he's meeting Ty Lue at half court, and they're going to talk it through and figure out, because that's what Denver's going to keep going to. Jokic is telling him now. Here it is again.
And every possession of the playoffs so critical. The cut from Brown, missed the layup. Rebound.
Emphatic Jokic calling for the review.
To the naked eye, looked like it definitely hit the Clippers last, and right away Denver's going to review it. 52 seconds to go in the third. A Nuggets review coming up. So first challenge of the game, Denver challenging this out of bounds call, and it does look like it last hits James Harden. Let's hear it now.
After review, it has been determined that James Harden is the last to hit the ball prior to it going out of bounds. The ruling on the floor of LA possession has been overturned to Denver possession. 52.6 on the game clock. The challenge is successful. Denver keeps their timeout. They have 1 challenge remaining.
Jokic was going to go tackle the coaching staff had they not challenged that. He was emphatic that it wasn't off him. Obviously, he was he was right. But here we go again. Now they got Ben Simmons in, but they're going to keep a tube on Jokic. 14 seconds to shoot. Big moments here, though. Last minute of the quarter, down 5. You want to take advantage of the fact that no Zubac in the game. Can the Nuggets dig into this lead a little bit? Because Jokic is going to sit in the fourth. He's going to start the fourth on the bench, so they got to take advantage of this.
Jokic trying to come to the basketball, sets a screen for Westbrook. Westbrook mid-range is off, and probably not what Denver wanted on that possession.
They gave it to Westbrook, which is smart. It was a good job by the Clippers, but he didn't want to work it in that time.
2-for-1 opportunity for the Clippers. Jokic comes up with a steal. Jokic motoring all the way.
That was the slowest fast break I may have seen. Jokic, though, great hands, digs into the passing lane, and look how that took a little bit out of him, though. He's breathing hard right now.
Going the speed limit.
That's right.
He was second in the league in steals this season. He also did that quick enough to perhaps win Denver another possession here. 4-second difference. Powell, no. Westbrook, 2 seconds. Westbrook gives it up. Brown, off. And that will do it for the third. Jokic with 12 points in the frame. 25, 7, 7, and 2 on the day. It's a one-possession Clippers lead as we head to the fourth.
Look at this. Look at the reaction. He sees the play, and wow, look at this. He's going. He just gets there. Beautiful. Pretty.
Welcome back to the NBA playoffs presented by Google. We're in Denver for the first round presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I'm here with Coach Adelman, and Coach told me at halftime, Coach Sanders said, every quarter tells a story. What did that quarter tell you about your team?
I thought we were really engaged, played extremely hard, won the quarter by 1. Offensively, we just got to make sure we get a shot up every time down. It's that kind of game. It's a grinded out game. It's what the playoffs are about. But I liked our energy. I thought the end of the first quarter, start of the second, we weren't there. But that quarter we were. If that continues, we'll give ourselves a chance to win.
Nikola Jokic showed us a little bit of everything he had in his bag. What did you like about his touches in the third?
Well, we got him the ball inside, which we need to do. You try to give him the ball everywhere, but sometimes in games like this, keep it simple, make sure it's in his hands, read or react from their defense, take what they give us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Angel. You saw Jokic scored or assisted on 18 of 23 points in the quarter, as another look at the rim that Denver's unable to finish. And it's going to be Clippers basketball. And this is the question always, Bob. Nikola Jokic begins the fourth on the bench. How does Denver handle and survive? Here's what they've done today. You see the dramatic difference in field goal percentage.
Only 26 percentage points different. This is dangerous time for this Denver team. And this guy, he's got to take advantage of it too, meaning Kawhi Leonard. Best player on the floor right now. And he's going to have to expand on this lead while Jokic is not in the game.
Gordon gets fouled there, and Aaron Gordon is going to shoot 2.
David Adelman talked about that end of first, early second. That was not reflective of what he thought the effort needed to be. But since then, he talked about it, that Nuggets have outscored the Clippers in the second quarter and the third quarter, and their energy shifted. The Clippers aren't getting those easy baskets, easy lanes to the rim like they were early.
Gordon, 6 the first. Taking a look at the upcoming national TV schedule tomorrow on ABC. We have a first-round doubleheader for you. Grizzlies Thunder at 1 p.m. Magic Celtics at 3:30 Eastern. Tomorrow night, TNT doubleheader. Heat Cavs, followed by Warriors Rockets. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. This is the closest this game has been since the first. Clippers have led by as many as 15. It's a one-point game now. Leonard trying to find an angle and is fouled. Denver has already used one successful challenge, so they have one left to deploy for the remainder of this game. And the coaching staff of the Nuggets telling David Adelman to not challenge it, saying they feel like Gordon got his hand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've let some stuff go. This is only the 10th free throw attempt for the Clippers. For a team that plays physical, and Kawhi Leonard, this is only, his second free throw attempt of the game for a guy that usually gets to the line a lot more than he has. But again, if you're the Denver Nuggets, just hold the line here, right? Because your best player, arguably one of the best players, if not the best in the league, you need to give him as much rest as possible, because you know the Clippers are coming back with Harden and Zubac and the closing and who can execute in those last 6 minutes of the fourth. But hold the line here if you're the Nuggets.
3-point game. Murray. And a foul here against the Clippers on Bogdanovic.
They're attacking Bogdanovic, as they should. He is the guy out there for the Clippers that is the weakest defender, and in the playoffs, they will find you. If that is your weakness, they will seek you out and find you, and that's what the Nuggets are trying to do. Look, they're bringing him into the pick and roll again with Peyton Watson.
And there he is. Yeah, Murray on him. Murray pull up. Back iron it off. Leonard the rebound. Leonard racing up the floor. The hesitation and the explosion. Kawhi Leonard to the rim.
If any doubt about how he's moving, I think he erased any questions there.
And this is what we saw, Bob, in the second quarter as well, where Leonard scored 12 points. Him and the reserves and taking the offense into his own hands. Murray, again, he just has not had that mid-range here today.
4 of 15 from the field. Big possessions, too. I mean, they're getting the matchup they want. He just couldn't convert on the last 2 mid-range jump shots.
Jokic sauntering towards the scorer's table. They can't afford to go much longer without him. Leonard pull-up is off. Long rebound. Jones comes away with it and is fouled by Watson. Big offensive rebound there, the 10th of the day for the Clippers.
And Jokic coming back in, like you said, they sense, don't want to get too far down 5. Clippers ball. Here comes Jokic. He's going to play the last, 9.5 minutes here. That's going to put him over 40 more minutes, but he's capable, right? He's capable. One of the best conditioned players in the NBA.
He's at 32 minutes right now. Murray at 34. Clippers minutes a little bit more in check. Here's Leonard. 5 to shoot. Leonard throws it away.
And how long does Ty Lue wait to bring Zubac in? Because again, who's guarding Jokic now? And this is why the playoffs are so fascinating. It's a chess match, right? I mean, are you gonna wait 2-3 minutes? You're gonna let Jokic stay out there with this group?
Gordon isolating on Bogdanovic. Gordon muscles in and gets fouled. There you go again, just seeking him out.
And again, you find out quickly, coaches in the NBA do not get to game plan nearly as much as they would like in the regular season, but they get to game plan now. And the players as well. They pay a lot more attention in the playoffs to matchups, to lineups, to who you're trying to get after. And they've attacked Bogdanovic the last 4 possessions. That one they got a better look because they decided the Murray jumper not going. He's 4 of 15 from the field. Let's go inside with Aaron Gordon.
Well, we were talking with Ty Lue about that chess match, and he's revered for his X's and O's, the way he's able to adjust at this time of year especially. And he had a big smile on his face, and he said, you know, I do love the chess match. Players still got to execute, but I really like it, especially after game 1, once you see a little bit about how people are going to attack you and guard you.
And you find out if you can play a player in a series or not. You usually give guys a shot. You give them a game, then you quickly find out, can I play Ben Simmons in this? Can I play Bogdanovic? Are they attacking him too much?
Good movement here. Bogdanovic off on a 3. Jokic the rebound, his 8th. He has 25 points. 7 assists as well.
Look, they're right back at him, targeting. They're going to probably end up, look, they're going to go that way.
Simmons looks like he's fouling Jokic, and finally it's called. And that is going to be the 4th team foul already on the Clippers here in this 4th quarter. Massive, because there's 8:14 left. Denver's going to be going to the line the rest of the way.
Big, really big, especially for a guy like Jokic who can draw fouls off the ball like that, just trying to get position. But here comes James Harden. I imagine he comes in for Bogdanovic is my guess. Yep, Bogdanovic. You know, look.
Wow, and they actually call that a double foul.
Oh, interesting.
So it's the 4th on Jokic. As Harden comes back in.
And Bogdanovic, for him to be in this series, he's got to make his 3-point shots. He just took one and missed it.
It's not going to be for defense. It's going to be for floor spacing. Again, Zubac still sitting over there. 8 minutes to go. Ty Lue never panics, though. He is not a coach that panics. He'll put him back in when he has to.
And to your point about Bogdanovic, 0 for 3 from 3 in this game. Here's Jokic. Draws 2. Westbrook on the cut.
That's the thing. No Zubac. Jokic is going to command a double, and his teammates know by now, playing with him the whole season, if he gets double, he will find you when you cut to the basket.
8th assist for Nikola. Leonard elevates and sticks it.
This is where you're going to see Harden and Leonard ISO basketball. No problem with that. They're both some of the best ever to do it. That'll be the Clippers offense until Zubac comes back in as Murray shows up.
Ties it at 81. Harden back in with his 4. Dishes out. Batum gets clobbered by Westbrook. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Russell Westbrook. By the way, because that was a double foul before, it was not a team foul on the Clippers. So they're still with 3 team fouls. So now both the Clippers and the Nuggets, 3 team fouls. Something to watch as we get down the stretch of a tie game here. Leonard, his 16th straight game with at least 20, 3rd longest streak of his career. Batum, catch, fire, and hit from 3.
This guy's played in some big-time games. This Jokic, they're not going to look at that. It looked like him and Derek Jones got tied up. Officials not doing it, not doing anything with it. Jokic still down on the baseline. They're saying get up.
And really smart of Murray here to not touch the basketball, and now Jokic gets a tee.
We got to get a replay of what happened with Derek Jones and Jokic. Jokic went down as if he got hit in the face, but they can't review that. They're not going to go back to that, I imagine. So whatever happened there, it's play on.
And Denver is going to take a timeout. 6:41 to go in the 4th. We'll take another look when we come back.
NBA First Round, presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook, is brought to you by Arby's. We have the meats. And United Airlines, where good leads the way.
Here's another look at what happened with Nikola Jokic at the end of this play. So he kind of bumps Derek Jones Jr. Derek Jones Jr. lifts his arm. Looked like maybe grazed Jokic. And then Jokic laid on the ground for a while, was irate, nothing was called, and then got a tee going after Mark Lindsay. Bob, in this tight a game, I feel like Nikola Jokic has got to show a little more restraint than that.
Yeah, he does, and he usually does. But every game, every point, this could be a one-point game. A final score of a separation of 1 point, and he just gave the Clippers a point in this 84, now 85-81. This is a low-scoring game. And that's uncharacteristic of Jokic. But now Zubac is back, so let's see probably more Murray and Jokic high screen and roll than Jokic trying to catch it deep, because that's what Zubac does. He's going to bring it out here on Zubac. Here's the high screen and roll.
Murray loses it. Jones off to steal, soaring in. Can't finish, but a foul on Westbrook. That'll put Jones at the line. A 70% free throw shooter. Smart foul there from Russell Westbrook.
That turnover there on that Murray-Jokic screen and roll, and that's Derek Jones. He's an elite defender. He got his hand in there. And now a chance, but like you said, good foul by Westbrook. Otherwise, easy 2 points for the Clippers.
And Jones hits the first. Our Stanley Cup playoffs first round coverage begins Sunday with 3 game ones. Devils Hurricanes on ESPN at 3 Eastern, Senators Maple Leafs on E2 at 7. Back on ESPN, the Golden Knights host the Wild at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Our pregame coverage begins with The Point at 2 Eastern on ESPN2. The road to the Cup is on. 6-point Clippers lead. 6 straight points after Denver had finally tied it. Here's Jokic. Backing down Zubac. Jokic flips it in, methodical and precise.
Just makes everybody else look like they have no idea how to guard it.
And that's more of a credit to him. And the guy that's guarding him, we've said it 100 times, he's the best to do it in the NBA. And Jokic makes things look so easy.
Oh, Zubac off a beautiful delivery.
Got Jokic switched on Harden on the corner, and Harden just lobs it over the top.
8th assist for Harden. Zubac now with 17 points, 12 rebounds. They get 19 points for Zubac. Brown, beautiful cut, spins it in.
They take 5.5 minutes to go. Here's where the execution comes into play. Who can take care of the ball and just get good possessions? Like David Nadelman said, get a good look every time down.
Harden lost it out of bounds.
Exactly what we were talking about. I mean, this is, look at this score, 89-85. These are not 120 to 130. Every possession, Ryan, is going to have to be disciplined and executed.
And that's where this two-man game is so effective. Murray on a three.
This guy has an uncanny way of hitting big shots.
1-point game. Harden dishing out, look out. Batum keeps it in the front court. 7 to shoot. Harden flings it back, 3 to shoot. Batum, oh my! What a shot from Nicholas Batum. And it's back to 4.
Wow. These 2 threes by Batum in the fourth quarter have been huge. Momentum stopping. And that one he barely had in his hand, but that's the advantage of being 6'11". With the wingspan he has, he can get it up over most people.
Now it's with the shot clock fading, crowd ready to pop, just a huge bucket from Batum. Murray thought about it, back to Jokic as the mismatch on Harden. Leonard shading, double comes, open Gordon, his three, it's good!
This is a heavyweight fight. This is a heavyweight fight. This is what we expect to see. 2 closely matched teams, 2 veteran teams. And this is Aaron Gordon, who a lot of people used to leave wide open because he couldn't shoot. Well, this is what working on it means. 40% on the season, knocks it down.
Time now for tonight's home court advantage, brought to you by Homes.com. Big time shot making from Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon down the stretch of this fourth.
Yeah, and Murray's been doing it, especially in this building, for quite some time. Fascinating to see this coaching matchup here because Ty Lue, no Chris Dunn, no Norman Powell, right? They got Derek Jones in, and they've also got Nicholas Batum in, who has paid off here. He's knocked out some huge threes. And also, Russell Westbrook looks to be closing the game, Ryan, for this Denver Nuggets team, and that is a little bit of feast or famine. We've seen him win games, and we've also seen him make some questionable decisions. So, which bet will pay off for which team?
Michael Porter Jr., the starter, who's on the bench with Westbrook out there. Porter just 3 points today. Here is Harden, 1-point Clipper lead. Into Leonard, who has 20 on 8 of 13 shooting. Double comes, Leonard pushed away, 5 to shoot, throws into Batum. Batum nearly got another, but not that time.
Great double team there off Kawhi Leonard to get the ball out of his hands. Timely double.
Crowd rising to its feet. Brown for the lead. No. Westbrook, yes.
There's what he does. He's a great offensive rebounder. He's been that way his whole career. You'll ask, why is he in the game for plays like that?
First Denver lead since it was 13-11. The 15-point deficit gone. Jones misses. Westbrook. Seen a lot of that from Westbrook today in transition, forcing the issue and not finishing. 5 on 4 the other way. Brown takes the foul, but the Nuggets are over the limit. So it puts Harden at the line. Brown thought he was helping out Westbrook so they could get 5 on 5, but instead he's going to put Harden at the line with a chance to give the Clippers the lead back.
Mental error there, and he knows it, and they told him immediately.
We'll be back in 60 seconds. Well, LeBron James and the Lakers taking on the T-Wolves, 8:30 Eastern tonight on ABC. Meanwhile, what a game. Denver and Clippers game one. Nuggets a 1-point lead, 3:06 to go on this putback.
Yeah, and this is what he does for you. He's been doing this a long time. Russell Westbrook getting the extra possession, but this has been a difficult thing for Westbrook in this game when he has attacked. Even in one-on-one situations, he has not been able to finish. But again, David Adelman said he's going to roll with him. He's going to roll with him. He loves the energy, and he loves what he does for this team.
And then because he was down and didn't get back right away, it looked like he maybe tweaked his knee. Whatever the reason, didn't get back. So Christian Brown took a foul, thinking that the Denver Nuggets had one to give. They did not. That's why Harden is at the line right now.
Yeah, and Ty Lue went back to his starters now. Chris Dunn back in the game, as is Norman Powell. He's going to close with these guys. And again, doesn't look like Porter Jr., who has not had the best game, is going to be back in this game.
So Porter on the bench, 1 of 4 in his 26 minutes with 3 points. Westbrook out there with the other 4 starters for the Nuggets. Clippers, all 5 starters, as Bob said. 1-point game, under 3 to go. Jokic fakes the 3, dishes. Westbrook serves it in.
Jokic is, I mean, he is, it's so fun to watch this guy. It really is. And the passing, everybody loves watching unselfish players. He faked the 3, got the defense to bite. Westbrook, good cut off the ball.
10 assists for Jokic, a rebound away from a triple-double as Westbrook tips that out of bounds.
Again, we talked about a center averaging a triple-double. Look, shot fake from 3, 2 guys come his way. Westbrook, his teammates know they're going to get it. Just cut off the ball, he'll find you.
One of the best cutting teams in the league because of Jokic. Shot clock at 5 here. Leonard wants it. Leonard, pull up, off, rebound, into the arms of Jokic.
I don't know why the Clippers aren't going back to the Zubac-Harden pick and roll. They just look out of sorts. Kawhi's great at the ISO stuff, but they can always get a good possession of that Harden. Bring Jokic into that screen, but they're not going to it.
19th career playoff triple-double for Nikola Jokic. 3 to shoot. Murray needs help. Westbrook off. Gordon keeps it alive. Under 2 minutes to go in game 1.
Denver's been doing this a long time. They're going to play 2-man ball, Jokic and Murray.
Murray around and off. And again an offensive rebound, but Dunn snatches it away. And a whistle. The Clippers were off to the races, did not hear the foul, but a foul was called by James Williams. I mean, Bob, it's so loud in here, I couldn't hear that whistle either.
Well, the Clippers bench, you can always watch and see if they're going to review it. It doesn't look like they're going to challenge this play. And Aaron Gordon giving the Nuggets extra possessions here in the most important moments of the game, getting 1 offensive rebound and then drawing a foul there. And they're in the bonus now. Next foul for the Clippers will get Denver on the line.
And the Clippers electing not to use their challenge there, which they have not used yet in this game. Denver has used 1 successfully. So they have 1 left. Jokic, floater, off, gets it back, has it knocked out of bounds, but a foul. And now Jokic is going to go to the line. And all game long, offensive rebounds haven't been there for Denver, but they have been here.
Clippers, arguably the best defensive rebounding percentage team in the league, top 5, and they have not been able to secure it here in the last 2 minutes. But Jokic, you want to know the uniqueness of this guy? Jamal Murray set the screen. Jokic was handling the ball on the pick and roll, and Zubac told us before the game, we met with him, he said, when you're guarding, you missed the field. When you're guarding Jokic, he sometimes is the ball handler, and no center's used to dealing with that.
Our NBA playoff game 1 quadruple header continues. Pistons Knicks here on ESPN next. Over on ABC tonight, Lakers, Timberwolves, and Jokic misses both. An 80% free throw shooter. So the lead remains just 1. Clippers ball, down 1, good trap. Zubac, center of the lane, and a goaltend.
That's the pick and roll. They went to it, and they got something great out of it because they blitzed. Harden's telling them, we're going to run that again.
And that is what they've been doing. They've run it more than any tandem in the NBA the whole year. They've got more points, and Chris Dunn looks like he's shaken up.
Ruling on the floor is goaltending on Denver. That play will be reviewed.
I think this was a pretty clear
Agreed.
goaltending.
Under
Gordon,
2 minutes, they can go and look at it as long as it is called.
Yeah.
Very, very clear goaltending. Hit the backboard first.
After review, the ruling on the floor has been confirmed. Aaron hits the ball after it hits the backboard. Goaltending is the correct call. It'll be Denver ball on the baseline.
So 1:11 to go. Clippers a 1-point lead. Remember, Jokic just missed 2 free throws. But you'd imagine the same way you want the Clippers going to that Harden, Zubats pick and roll. Denver just keeps riding Murray, Jokic.
Yeah, they got it. I mean, they've been doing that for the last 5 years. They're very, very good at it. You can watch the off-ball play. If they do double Jokic, you'll see Aaron Gordon cutting. You'll see Christian Braun spotting up. He did miss the one he had. Westbrook, again, is the other guy that would be diving to the rim. And watch Westbrook on the offensive glass as well. But this is all Jokic and Murray. They've been doing this, and here it comes.
Here's Jokic, a 3. Back iron it off. Westbrook another board.
That's what he does.
Another chance here for Denver. Murray zips in, 6 to shoot. Brown to Gordon, his 3. Off. Westbrook bats it, but Powell has it. And Gordon nearly fouled Powell. Harden will dash into the front court.
See if they call Zubac. No, he's going to go ISO Murray on Kawhi Leonard here.
Murray tips it out of bounds, and it last hit Leonard.
Wow. Jokic trying to grab the ball.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Jokic was ripping the ball away from the Clippers trainer, trying not to allow them to challenge it.
We'll step aside. 32 seconds to go. Denver ball down 1. Thrilling game 1 here in Denver.
Hip of Kawhi Leonard prior to going out of bounds. The ruling on the floor stands. The challenge by LA is unsuccessful. They lose their timeout. They have no challenges remaining. The game clock will be reset to 33.5.
Well, the Clippers, who've been conservative with that challenge all game, interesting choice to use here, Bob, because it seemed pretty clearly it hit Leonard last.
He even knew it. You could tell Kawhi Leonard, you look at his face. Oftentimes, look at the players at their reaction. He knew it. He knew it was off him. Important, Clippers now lose a timeout. They've got 1 left. Obviously, the possession goes back to Denver. And now I think here,
this is just another look for anyone who was wondering. I mean, clearly hit Leonard.
Surprised they used it there.
We'll be back in a moment. Denver has been outstanding in clutch time this season. They have the ball, 33.5 seconds to go, down 1.
And Murray inbounding it. So watch Murray coming off after the inbound, coming off to catch. Looks like they're going to probably try to get it to Jokic off the inbound, and here comes the screen. And watch Murray. Yeah, so they got it to him, and here they go. This is just tried and true Jokic-Murray pick and roll.
Here is Murray, down 1 in game 1. 25 seconds. Westbrook a 3. You bet! How about them apples?
We talked about it, feast or famine with this guy. He can win you games, and he might have just won the game for the Denver Nuggets. Big area of improvement for Russell Westbrook, 40% on uncontested threes. Peyton Manning likes it. Denver fans certainly love it.
Nuggets lead by 2.
Jokic, again, you got to watch him, and they made the right choice. They're going to leave Westbrook. Here comes Chris Dunn off the top. Nobody near Westbrook. It's the shot the Clippers were willing to give up, and Westbrook makes them pay.
An all-time great who has been doused with consistent criticism in the latter years of his career has come up with massive plays down the stretch against his former team, who he played for in the playoffs just a season ago.
So many storylines, so many, and the Clippers obviously had him last year, and Westbrook's always been a guy. You know what I love about Westbrook? You always know when he's on the floor. Now, some people say that sometimes he hurts you. He never hurts you. He he helps you more than he hurts you. I mean, that's why this guy's a Hall of Fame player. And David Adelman has him in the game. He's had him in the game for most of this fourth quarter. And that could be, we'll see. Now, this game is not over. That could be the difference in the game right there. Let's see. Peyton Watson checks in for the Nuggets for defensive purposes here. Jamal Murray, I believe, is not in the game.
Correct.
So this is the best defensive unit Adelman can put out there. I still like the Harden-Zubac pick and roll. I would still play out of that. We'll see what they do.
Clippers out of timeouts. Here's Harden going quickly. Floats it up and in. Tied at 98. James Harden with a clutch bucket.
Not an easy shot by any stretch. Great contest, but again, this guy's float game, he may have invented the float game. Such a soft touch. He decides to attack right away, doesn't waste any time. Jokic is there, but Harden's right over the top of him.
How about this game one between the Clippers and the Nuggets? A highly anticipated series that has completely delivered thus far here today. 11 lead changes. Clippers once led by 15, now Denver ball. Shot clock turned off, 18.7 to go. Tied at 98. Ryan Ruocco, Bob Myers, Angel Gray with you. Bob, obviously Denver wants to make sure they take the final shot here. More Jokic, Murray?
Yeah, I mean, look, Murray's done this many times, right? You don't have to think too far back. Jamal Murray has won games in this building at the buzzer. I like either of those guys. That's the advantage of having a Jokic and a Murray. They're certainly going to touch the ball, I can promise you that. But the last possession, Christian Brown wasn't ready, I don't think, for Harden to go that fast. Doesn't matter, though. Shot clock off. And if you're the Nuggets, you want to take the shot maybe with 1, 2, 3 seconds left and allow yourself an offensive rebounding opportunity. No timeouts for either team. And so Clippers can't really advance. And so Denver, take the last shot, but maybe give yourself a few seconds to rebound.
Here we go. Shot clock turned off. Game one in the balance. Tied at 98. Murray waiting. 10 seconds remaining. Leonard up on him. Jokic getting a touch. Double come. 6 seconds. Jokic gives it up. Westbrook 3 seconds. Westbrook throws it off of the Clippers, and that will do it. Denver does not get a shot off, and we have overtime.
They sold out, did the Clippers. We're not going to let Murray or Jokic do it, and Westbrook just got caught kind of in between. Credit the Clippers. Really good defensive possession for them. You see it right away here, and this guy is the guy you want. Kawhi Leonard, you're looking at him, you go, I don't really want any part of that. So Murray gives it up, but here comes Chris Dunn, right? And that's what changed the possession. Good job by rotating, and Westbrook didn't want that three and just couldn't get a shot to close the regular fourth quarter out here.
Overtime in game one. Up next from Denver. Donalds in Denver, Colorado, tied at 98. Russell Westbrook a three to give Denver the lead, and then James Harden ties it on a floater. Denver, a final possession, couldn't get a shot off. Here was the three from Westbrook. Put the Nuggets up 2 after being down 1. Harden then responded.
Yeah, again, Christian Brown maybe didn't think Harden would go that quick. Good contest by Jokic, but better shot. And here's Westbrook. He had the wing three. He has it right there. That's the shot. But he decided to catch and go. Okay. But that kind of blew the possession right there. Harden, good job not fouling. Good defense. Heading into extra time. Not surprised, Ryan. I mean, these are two really good teams, but they're evenly matched. And we've watched both of them show why they're good teams in the end. Harden, great shot in the end. It's been all Jokic and Murray in the fourth quarter. That's what's going to be in overtime. I still like the Clippers. I talked about it there. I like them still featuring the Zubac Harden pick and roll, just kind of playing out of that and not doing too much other stuff. When they've ISO'd Kawhi, it hasn't worked as well as it may have in other situations. They've done a good job on Kawhi in isolation.
So that points off turnover differential, 26-4 in favor of Denver. That was the #1 key for Ty Lue, talking with us before the game, making sure his team did not turn it over so Denver couldn't run. And that was really how Denver got back in this game. They trailed by 15. Clippers had controlled it for much of the afternoon, but Denver used their play in transition to get back in. And here we go, 98 all to begin overtime. Westbrook stays on the floor along with the other 4 starters. Jokic did a great job just to save that possession. Here's Murray. Murray sliding in, flipping out. 5 to shoot. Gordon rages to the rim.
Great patience. They thought they had him trapped in the corner. Aaron Gordon knew the clock and used all of it to finish with authority.
Gordon up to 21. Here's Harden dancing to the cup.
Harden came to play. I mean, he's been effective this entire game. He's got 27. You let him get to his left hand, that's a problem.
Jokic, Westbrook off on that one, and Harden the rebound. 1 minute into overtime, tied at 100. Harden 27 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. Leonard and Zubac each with 20.
Trying to pick on Murray a little bit here, get that switch, but Harden's just dictating traffic here.
Lob it in Leonard, 3 to shoot. Leonard screams one to the corner, Powell lost it. Gordon off the steal with numbers. Gordon to the corner, Murray, and hit. Westbrook the rebound, couldn't put it back in, but got the foul, and that'll be number 5 on James Harden.
Westbrook again, he's such a good rebounder. You don't average a triple-double from the guard position without being a good rebounder, but offensively, especially offensive rebounding. I mean, look, he just gets the position and gets fouled, and if, like you said, that's 5 on Harden, he cannot afford to foul out of this game. Now he can't be as physical on defense, so it does change things.
And also, Bob, you talked about it before, the Clippers are the #1 defensive rebounding team in the NBA. For most of this game, they held Denver completely off the offensive glass, but critical possessions late in that 4th quarter, now 1 year in overtime, where Denver's been able to get to the offensive glass.
And it's been that guy Westbrook, this is the free throw, and also Aaron Gordon. And that's what, like you said, extra possessions. That's what you want, extra possessions. Denver has 88 field goal attempts to the 80 for the Clippers. That's a winning formula.
In the corner, Dunn. No. Rebound, Murray. Hastily up the floor. Murray weaving, floating, and hitting.
He just has a knack for the big moments, right? This guy just elevates his game. A lot of players shrink in these moments. He just gets bigger.
Up to 21. This is the largest lead of the game for Denver. Leonard, surrounded, fades, and hits. Big bucket there for Kawhi Leonard.
Still good enough to get to his spot, and a nice shot to keep this Clipper team attached. A little bit of danger there, down 3 in this overtime.
Jokic finds Westbrook, good hands by Harden. Dunn in there as well, but Gordon persistent.
Clippers doubled there. Nice job by the Nuggets recognizing it, and that's what they're getting. Aaron Gordon in that dunker spot.
You're looking for Knicks Pistons. It is started on ESPN2. Jokic knocks it away. Oh, what a save from Brown.
Those are game-winning plays. Those are game-winning plays. Making saves like that, selling out, put your body on the line.
Building is ready to pop. Jokic gets fouled by Leonard. .153 to go in overtime. Denver a 105-102 lead. Jokic. They actually took a rebound away from him, so he's still 1 shy of a triple-double. To the corner, Westbrook. No. Rebound, Westbrook digs it up. Can't finish. Gordon has it stripped by Leonard. Here comes Leonard, 2-on-2. Leonard gets fouled on the floor. No basket.
You know what I love? The playoff effort, right? The effort of the playoffs. This is why playoff NBA basketball is so fun to watch. Just the fact that these guys are giving it everything. Every possession, every rebound, battling. And the Nuggets are winning that battle right now on the offensive glass, getting opportunities. Westbrook just got another one. Aaron Gordon almost got one. Clippers did a great job getting the ball back.
1:28 to go in overtime. Clippers ball, down 3. Harden looking to take Murray. Harden skates in and floats another home.
The second he gets that angle with his left hand, the play's almost over. He's that good. And it's easy to say, make him go right. It is very difficult.
29 for Harden. Knocked away by Powell. Jokic saves it. Into the corner. Gordon didn't want to take it. 10 to shoot. Another touch here for Jokic. Brown will fire. It's hit!
Probably the best passing big in the history of the NBA right there, setting up his teammates. It must be fun to play with Nikola Jokic. He makes the game easy, and we got a chance to talk to that guy that just knocked down that shot. Christian Braun before the game, and you asked him, he said, what's it like? What's this guy Jokic like? He said he loves basketball. So what about the horses? He seems like he's not that into it. He said he watches more basketball than anybody on the team. It could be a Tuesday night, and this guy's texting his teammates, Jokic is, saying, are you watching the Wizards-Pistons game? Are you watching this? He is a junkie, and he projects a certain way, but you better believe Jokic is as competitive and smart as any player that's ever played. And the thing I love about him, I think there's only one other guy in the last 20 years that gets you a good possession every time down, and that was LeBron James. Jokic gets you a good possession in the half court every time down because of the passing. It's not just the scoring, it's the passing.
You asked Christian Braun about his improvement this year. Second in the league in points per game increase, a lot of other favorable metrics as well. And he says the reason for the improvement is Nikola Jokic. That's why.
I love the fact that he said that, right? A lot of players would say something else. He said the truth.
4-point Denver lead. Huge 3 from Brown there with no hesitation. Still plenty of time for the Clippers here. Here is Leonard around the Powell screen. Leonard zigging, zagging, dishing, done. No. Leonard, what a rebound. And a whistle. Leonard out of bounds. Denver basketball. Leonard felt he was fouled.
Chris Dunn missed a shot, but Westbrook knocked down. And Leonard, they're not going to give you that in this type of game. They're not going to give you that call. They have to get a stop here for the Clippers. Have to get a stop.
Denver going for the knockout punch in game 1. Murray, and a steal. Dunn comes up with it. Here comes Leonard. Resuscitation for LA. Harden connects. What a 3 from Harden.
That's why Chris Dunn's on the floor for plays like that, and Harden has been the guy in overtime in the 4th quarter.
It's a 1-point game.
Can wait here.
Westbrook, no. Gordon keeps it alive, just a 2-second difference game in shot clock. And now Powell will foul Gordon and put him on the line with 10.9 to go. That was a decision, and Ty Lue was on the court being held back by Mark Lindsay, trying to tell his team, trap, because if he didn't get the steal, he wanted them to foul.
Yes, but Westbrook, as much as you love him, he's attacking the rim. You don't really have to do that, right? You can get a shot up with 2 seconds to go and almost make them just call a timeout 1 second to go after they get the rebound, but Clippers decided to foul, which is the smart thing to do. Give himself 11 seconds. They do have timeouts.
Huge free throw from Gordon. Here comes the next. He got it. 3-point game. Timeout, Clippers. What a game 1 here in Denver. 10.9 to go in overtime. It has been just a wild sequence as we welcome you back courtside here, Ryan Ruocco, Bob Myers. So the Clippers come up with the steal. Harden launches a 3, cuts it to 1. Then Russell Westbrook inexplicably attacks the rim early. Then the Clippers able to foul. 3-point game after Gordon hits the free throws. How about the Clippers here? They just used their final timeout, Bob. 10.9 remaining. Got to go for a game-tying 3, right? Not enough time to get a quick 2.
And Adelman's got to decide if he's going to foul, right? He's got a decision to make here, too. Although not in the – I agree, if they foul, they will get free throws. But the real question is, You know, Westbrook's been criticized, right, for some of the things he does. But he also makes game-winning plays as well. That decision, maybe not the best one he's ever made to attack the rim, but Aaron Gordon, we talked about the offensive rebounding in the fourth quarter and overtime, and Aaron Gordon has been tremendous there, as has Russell Westbrook. And that's the difference. Aaron Gordon's got 5 offensive rebounds. Russell Westbrook has 4. That's 9 extra shots for the Denver Nuggets. In games like this, with close games like this, you want to take as many cracks at the basket, and they just got their team 9 more. That's why Denver's got 94 shots at the rim, Clippers 85. Right here, question is, do you foul?
Right, would you if you're Denver?
Foul? I would foul. Now, you got to be careful. You got to be careful you don't do it on three-point shot, but I don't want to give a guy an easy 3 look at the basket. 10.9, this is a debate. Some people say it's under 6, it's under 7, it's under 9, but you can't give certainly James Harden, Norman Powell a clean look at 3 here, and Jokic is, I think, his infection control.
Yeah.
Something.
Maybe his mouth might be bleeding, I think. And he's going to have that addressed with 10.9 to go. Right, that's the question, Bob, because if you're Denver, you don't want to allow a potential game-tying 3-point attempt. You foul, you put them at the line. Clippers are out of timeout, so they wouldn't be able to advance it then on the back end after your presumed free throws.
That's a big thing that the Clippers are out of timeouts. That means, you know, we've seen some 5-second calls in basketball lately. Not getting the ball in bounds, some big moments. Nicholas Batum, I love the fact that he's inbounding the ball. He's got the size, he's got the skill. But they got to get a good look here.
Down 3, 10.9 to go in overtime. Harden knocked out of bounds, and it last hit Harden. And guess what? The Clippers cannot challenge it.
And Jokic is trying to grab it, but he doesn't recognize Clippers have no challenges. And here's an interesting thing. Jokic tried to grab the ball out of Ty Lue's hands, trying to speed up things, but Ty Lue can't challenge it. Watch this. And that, I can't tell if that was off. Westbrook thinks it's clearly off. Definitive look here. That looks like,
I think it last hits Harden.
It does look like.
And there was a key play like this at the end of regulation as well. Yeah,
that's off Harden.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It last hits Harden.
Right after I say Batum should inbound.
Right. So a failed inbound. Remember, Leonard had a key turnover that Murray poked out of bounds off of him right before the Westbrook 3 at the end of regulation. That put Denver in front. Here another failed inbound. Dunn trying to get to this one. And a foul is called on Dunn. That will put Jokic at the line with 6.5 to go in overtime.
Wow, and Clippers, they got to be kicking themselves. Not just that last possession, but 20 turnovers. It's hard to win a playoff game with 20 turnovers, and that is not who the Clippers have been. And when the Denver Nuggets started to up the pressure, you saw things change, right? You saw everything change from the first quarter on. After the Clippers looked in complete control, Denver started getting more physical, and it showed. And the fact that the Clippers turn the ball over that much in a game like this is the difference.
And Jokic hits that all-important free throw to make it a 2-possession lead. 28, 9, and 12 for Jokic. Has the next. With 6.5 to go, Clippers are out of timeouts. Here is Powell, screaming across the timeline, launches away, able to hit the 3 with 0.9 remaining, but that will do it. The Nuggets emerge Game 1 victors in an overtime thriller. Denver's 8th 15-point comeback in the playoffs since 2019. And if this game is any indication, we are in for a treat in this 4-5 matchup out west. You take a look at our playoff bracket. Denver takes a 1-0 series lead. For our producer Paul Urban, our director Charlie Reynolds, Bob Myers and Angel Gray, I'm Ryan Rucco. Thanks for watching the NBA playoffs. Let's send things out to Mike Breen and the crew at the Garden.
Прошла, и ветка белых роз в окно мне прозрачных слез и гром вами гремит раскатом. Мы были вместе, помню я. Ночь волновалась, скрипка пела. И в эти дни была моя. Ты с каждым часом хорошела. Тихое журчание струй сквозь тайну женственной улыбки. Густо просился поцелуй, просились в сердце звуки скрипки.
Jamila, don Allah gida babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa. Gida gida, gida gida, gida gida. Ooh, no matter what people do or say, this love will never die. If I knew I never hurt you so bad. Drinking so much, too much women in my life. Kwashe mata. Jamila, I'm so sorry. I mean a girl. Inna dagida na gan Jamila na. Inna dagida inji muryan Jamila. Inji abincin Jamila. Wayo, yeah. Mata magana ta gida soyayya